In my family, there's a tradition, a path laid out for generations. For the men, it was the family business, solid and dependable. For the women, it was about creating a home, raising a family, being the steady heart of it all. It's a beautiful tradition, and I respect it deeply. But my heart, it beat to a different rhythm. A rhythm of charcoal on paper, of colors mixing on a palette, of clay taking shape under my hands. Ever since I was little, I was the one with paint stains on my clothes and sketches in the margins of my notebooks. Art wasn't just a hobby. It was how I breathed, how I made sense of the world. So, when it came time to talk about the future, I knew what I had to say. I remember the night I told them. We were all at the dinner table, the air thick with the comfortable silence of family. I took a deep breath and said, I want to go to art school. The silence that followed was different. It wasn't comfortable anymore. My father looked at me, his expression a mix of confusion and disappointment. An artist? That's not a career. That's a hobby. What about your future? What about finding a good husband, starting a family? My mother just looked worried. She saw the practicality of it all, the instability, the break from everything we knew. They weren't being mean. They were scared for me. They wanted me to have a secure, happy life. And in their eyes, the life of an artist was anything but. Their words stung. It felt like they weren't just rejecting my dream. They were rejecting a part of me. For weeks, the house was tense. Every conversation felt like a negotiation. They'd show me brochures for business schools, introduce me to sons of family friends, and with every attempt to steer me back to the traditional path, a part of me felt weaker. I started to doubt myself. Was I being selfish? Was I throwing away a perfectly good future for a childish fantasy? The pressure was immense, and I felt so alone. One evening, I was in my room, staring at a half-finished painting, ready to give up. Just then, my grandmother walked in. She's the matriarch of our family, the keeper of all our stories. She sat beside me and looked at my painting. She didn't say anything for a long time. Then she turned to me and said, Your grandfather, before he took over the business, he loved to build model ships. Tiny, perfect little vessels. He hid them in the attic because his father told him it was a waste of time. She told me about aunts who secretly wrote poetry and uncles who dreamed of being musicians. These were stories I'd never heard. These were dreams that had been quietly packed away to make room for duty and tradition. She looked at me, her eyes clear and steady. Tradition is important, she said. It's our roots. But a tree can't grow if its branches aren't allowed to reach for the sun. You have a gift. Don't you dare hide it in the attic. That conversation was the spark I needed. It wasn't about defying my family. It was about honoring all the unspoken dreams that came before me. It was about adding a new branch to our family tree. With a newfound resolve, I applied to art schools in secret. I poured all my fear, my hope, and my love for my family into my portfolio. Each piece told a story, my story. Getting that first acceptance letter was a moment I'll never forget. It was a physical piece of paper that said, Someone sees you. Someone believes in you. I showed it to my parents. They weren't overjoyed, not at first, but they saw the letter. They saw the scholarship that came with it, and they saw the unwavering look in my eyes. Maybe they didn't understand my world, but they understood dedication. Slowly, they started to come around. Art school was everything I dreamed of and more. It was challenging, exhilarating, and for the first time, I was surrounded by people who spoke my language. I learned, I grew, I failed, and I got back up. I sent my parents photos of my projects, invited them to my student exhibitions. My dad, the practical businessman, started asking about the art market. My mom started telling her friends, with a hint of pride, that her daughter was an artist. Years later, I had my first solo gallery show. My whole family was there. As my dad stood in front of my largest canvas, he turned to me, his eyes a little misty, and said, "I don't know how you do this, but I'm proud of you." That meant more to me than any award. Today, my studio is my sanctuary, and my art is my career. But more than that, I see a change in my family. My little niece, she doesn't hide her sketchbook. She brings it right to the dinner table. And when she does, everyone smiles. Thank you for watching. If my story resonated with you, please like and subscribe for more.